All right, so this little extra unit we're going to do is only 3 lessons long. The first one is we're going to look at solving equations, usually with 2 steps, but some of them take 3 depending on kind of like where the like terms are and such. So this is solving equations with more than 1 step. So I'm sure by now 1-steppers are really easy for you guys. I think 2-steppers in general are pretty easy for you guys. But again, I just want to make sure we keep those algebra skills sharp, even though this is geometry class. So it's just a quick little week of hopefully all review. Wednesday might be a little new for you guys, but I know these first 2 days you've already done. Then we'll do a little review on Thursday, quiz on Friday, and then we're starting exam reviews next week. So this is really the last like notes and learning sort of days we'll have, ending this Friday, and then just review. We're going to spend 2 days on each chapter. So the review will be like a day on your own, a day as a class, a day on your own, a day as a class. And then that'll take us all the way to exams. Kind of crazy. All right, so jumping right into examples. Write this down. All right, how would I solve this? Subtract 3, yes, you undo adding and subtracting first. So I subtract 3 from both sides. I get 5x equals 20. Then what? Divide by 5. Divide by 5. X equals 4. And if you want to check, just plug the x back in. Put a 4 instead. 5 times 4 is 20. Plus 3 is 23. So I know this one checks out. What? It gets a little harder, but yeah, this should all be a review for at least the next 2 days. Wednesday might be a little new, but yep. I'm hoping to kind of boost everyone's grades a little bit before we start that final exam stuff. So this should not be super challenging. All right, number 2. All right, what should I do? Yep, add 8 to both sides. So that's n divided by 3 equals, what is negative 2 plus 8?
6.
Positive 6, good. And if you want that line of equality down, I forget to do that a lot of the times, but it's a good idea. All right.
Multiply.
Yep, now we multiply both sides by 3. Those are gone. N equals 18. Good. Questions? Number 3. All right. Whoops. So this is where it gets a little tricky. Do you see how this whole side is being divided by negative 6? So normally we undo the adding and subtracting first. You cannot do that in this case. In this case, we got to get through this guy down at the bottom. I like to call these bodyguard problems. I like to think of this guy as like the guy guarding the elevator. You know, when celebrities stay at a hotel, there's like, they stay up in the penthouse, you know. So you got the S and the 12 up in the penthouse. We can't get up there yet. We got to get through the bodyguard. The whole thing, this whole thing is being blocked by the negative 6. So how do I undo dividing a whole side by negative 6? You multiply the whole side by negative 6. Now, the only thing that does on the right is gets rid of that negative 6 in the denominator. We have an x plus 12. All right, does anyone know what negative 6 times negative 14 is? Well, it's a negative times a negative, so we know it'll be a positive. We're multiplying. Negative 6 times negative 14.
84.
84, yep.
Oh, you said times?
Yep. No, you're good. All right, any questions on that step? That was a tricky one. Remember, the negative 6 like a bodyguard blocking the elevator. You can't get up top to all the action until you get rid of the 6. We undo dividing by multiplying, okay? Now what? How do I get the S by itself? Subtract 12. Good. Those are gone. What is that? 72 equals S. If you want to rewrite it with the S in the front, that's fine. If you want to box in the 72 equals S, that's fine as well. Now, these are the type of equations that I'm sure you knew how to solve, but we don't see them written like this a lot in geometry. So these are really the ones I wanted to make sure that we review. Any questions? All right. Here is number 4. Another one, we don't see a lot of fractions in geometry, but you know, they still exist. So I have 3/4 times x minus 7 equals 8. What am I going to do?
Plus it.
Good. How do you undo multiplying by a fraction? There's 2 ways to think about it.
Divide?
Yeah, you divide by that fraction, right? So we are going to divide everything by 3/4. Now, if you're using a calculator, this is fine. Type it in.
Multiply because that's what I thought. I thought you multiply because that's the addition sign.
Yes, okay. So if you're using a calculator, you just type it in like that, right? However, multiplying by or dividing by a fraction is the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. Do you remember that? So if you're doing it by hand, the way you undo multiplying by a fraction is to multiply by the reciprocal. So we didn't even really need to write this step. The divide by. Usually you just see it as multiply by 4/3, multiply by 4/3. Okay? I wrote it out because if you're using a calculator, it doesn't matter. You could do 15 divided by 3 ABC4, or you could do 15 times, flip it 4/3. You can't mix and match them though. Like you can't hit multiply by 4, or you can't hit divide by 4/3. It'll flip it too many times. So either way, it's just kind of however you want to type it in. So does anyone know what either this equals or what this equals?
60 over 3. That would be 15 times 4.
Yeah, it'd be 60 over 3, which reduces to what? Good. So you should get 20. Again, if you want to type it in, 15 divided by 3 ABC4 equal sign. The calculator will do all the multiplying and flipping for you. If you're doing it by hand, you need to flip it, multiply both sides by the flipped fraction. So 15 over 1 times 4 over 3, 60 over 3, which reduces to 20. Lots happening here. Any questions? All right, so write this down. Here's our line of equality. All right, what should I do? Yeah, I want to get rid of the parentheses. These are not like terms, so you can't actually do like m minus 3. The way we handle the parentheses is to distribute. So what is 6 times m? Minus, what is 6 times 3? 18. Plus 5m equals 4. All right, now I have 2 spots where I see m's. Are they on the same side of the equal sign or different sides of the equal sign? They're on the same side of the equal sign. When they're on the same side of the equal sign, what do we do? You just add them. Do whatever it's telling you to do. If there's a minus sign between them, subtract them. If there's a plus sign between them, add them. Here there's a plus sign, I'm going to add them. The minus stays with the 18. So 11m minus 18 equals 4. Now what? Add the 18 to both sides. So I have 11m equals 22. Divide by 11. Divide by 11. M equals 2. And here, if you're going to check, when you plug it back in, make sure you plug it in for every m. What are your questions? All right, here is number 6. Similar idea. All right, how should I start? Ideas. Yeah, how do I get rid of the parentheses? Distribute the 5. So I still have this 5x this time. Now I have 5 times 4x, which is 20x. Minus, then I have 5 times 1. 5. And that equals 20. Then what? Plus, oh, not yet. Let's combine the like terms first.
25.
Yeah, so we're going to make that a 25x minus 5 equals 20. Notice they were on the same side of the equal sign. Tomorrow we're going to look at them where they're on different sides of the equal sign. So today we're just going to keep them all on the same side. So you combine those. There's a plus sign in the middle, so I added them. 5x plus 20x is 25x. Still have the minus 5. How do I get rid of the minus 5? Add 5. Add 5. 25x equals 25. Then what? Divide by 25. Divide by 25. X equals 1. Good. All right. I think we have 2 more to go, so we're getting there. Let's see, they're getting a little harder as we go. All right, what do you think? Do you see how the whole side is being divided by 11? How do you undo a whole divided by 11? Yeah, we're going to multiply both sides by 11. The only thing that does on the left is gets rid of that 11 denominator, okay? Now we're left with just the top. 7 minus 2x. But we got to multiply the 3 by 11 to balance it out. So that's going to be 33. Did everybody catch that? That was a big step. All right. Now, here's another tricky part. Should we handle the 7 or the negative 2? The 7. Is that 7 positive or negative? It's positive. So I need to subtract 7. A lot of students want to add 7 because they see the minus in front of the 2, you know what I'm saying? But if you add 7, you'd end up with 14. That's not going to undo anything. So make sure that you subtract 7 for both sides. All right, so negative 2x equals, what is 33 minus 7? 26. And then the last step. Divide by what? Negative 2. Don't lose your negative. What is positive 26 divided by negative 2? Negative 13. All right, I think I only had 8 examples on here today. This should be our last one. All right, anything jumping out at you? To what now? Yeah, so we have some variables together. So what can I do with 4x plus 3x? Make it a 7x. Good. You can just add them. What's going on over here, though? There's a regular old number minus another regular old number. It'd be a negative what? 21. Good. So you have like terms on both sides of the equal sign. So you can combine those like terms all at once and then get the x by itself. What should I do next? Yep, divide by 7, divide by 7. What is negative 21 divided by 7? Negative 3 equals x, or x equals negative 3. What are your questions? All right.
Wait, go ahead.
I forgot about the extra little geometry one I put in there. Yeah. All right, now we're going to apply it back to geometry a little bit. So this says the sum of the angles of a polygon is found by using the formula S equals 2, n minus 2 times 180. Write and solve the equation for x. Okay. So write what I write, okay? S equals n minus 2 times 180. Now, S in this case stands for sum. N in this case stands for number of sides. So, S means sum. I'm going to add all these up. So I have 2x plus 30 plus 2x plus 20 plus x plus 50 equals, over here, n is the number of sides. How many sides are there in this figure? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 minus 2 times 180. That's the big old equation we need to solve. All right, let's do it. So we have 2x plus 2x plus 1x. That's how many x's?
5x.
5x. Good. So I have 5x plus 30, 20, 50. 100 equals, well, here I can subtract because it's in parentheses. Does anyone know what 4 minus 2 is?
2.
And what's 2 times 180?
360.
Yep, so that's equal to 360. Sorry for the long equal sign. I just didn't want to.
You gotta write all of it.
Yeah. All right, now it's just a two-step equation, right? What should I do next? Subtract 100. So 5x equals 260. All right, what is 260 divided by 5?
$52.
52. Works for me. All right, I don't want to erase that one too quickly. So today we reviewed solving equations. All right, so you will have homework each day. It'll look a little different than the homework we've had since, this is more of an algebra topic than a geometry topic. But like I said, we'll do 3 days of notes just like this, just all different types of equations. And then we'll do quiz review. Other way around, review quiz.